Hi everyone, it's ETL, and it's a looks like a semi gorgeous day in DC, Sunday, December 30th. It looks about like it does where I live in New Mexico, uh, where it's partly cloudy, cold. Oh, and here comes Liberty with grass, uh, or hay, whichever you want to call it. Uh, Good to see that they're starting to bring in the hay because that means that we're getting ready for our nest bowl and filling it so our little eaglets have nice and warm place to stay. Now, as they when they first are born, they're eggs, and so the nest bowl or the nest itself has to have grass and has to have lots of warmth to it. Liberty's looking around because Justice is supposed to be right behind her, and he's not. So she does this a lot. She'll sit and wait for him, and then she'll move around and move a stick or two, and then he'll come in and hit her with the stick, and then they'll decide where it should go. Typical eagle behavior, but as humans, we do put some humor into that and some commentary into that as well. So I did make a video for yesterday on Saturday. Unfortunately, um, I tried it with the new program and it did not work. But this was what they were doing yesterday. They were basically working on the nest, making sure that there was plenty of straw in the nest, bringing in more sticks for high rails. One of the things, if you'll notice, there's two places they like to fly off of, and one of those places is right next to camera 2. You can kind of see the edge of the limb there, in between camera 2. There's 2 tree limbs. The other tree limb to the right is a little bit bigger. And so the rails get higher and higher there, and that's where they like to fly off in, and then they circle either back around in front of the nest, or they'll circle to other places around the nest uh, to perch or to stay and watch the nest. There have been intruders who come and try to take over the nest. Liberty and Justice are really good about defending their nest. They have had this nest since, I want to say, 2004, maybe about 14 years. Up, Justice brought in some more hay, so that's really a good sign. We got lots of straw coming in. So that's a really good sign that we're getting close to seeing some little eggs being born and then some eaglets. I also want to take this chance to let you know some distinct features also. Um, you will notice that Liberty is the bigger one and Justice is the smaller one. Justice does have the white feathers on his legs, where Liberty, she has a few, but not like Justice. And so that's why sometimes we get confused as moderators. Is they they've been together so long, they're like an old married couple. They start looking like each other. They start acting like each other. So that's why sometimes as moderators we just give up and we're just like, I don't know, it's one of them, it's Liberty, it's Justice, we don't know. It's not because we're unknowledgeable about these two. It's just because that they start acting and they start looking like each other, especially after Liberty loses her winter weight for the mating season, they start looking the same. Now the V-neck and the white feathers will always be there, but depending on how much they've eaten, sometimes Justice will get a V-neck as well, and Liberty will, her V isn't as precise. Liberty also has darker eyes, and as we are able to move the camera, we can do some close-ups and you can see some more distinct figures. Also, the nares, or the on the beak, they're the slits or the nares or the holes in their beak that helps them breathe, and they are also totally different. One is more narrower than the other one, and Liberty has more of a ridge, a rougher ridge on her beak as well. And I believe she also has, if we get really close, a little black dot on her left eye underneath her iris. So that's how close we can get with the camera. We can just zoom in and get right in there to see. Justice, one of his distinct features as they're turned around, obviously right now you can't really tell. If I was to take a picture right now, this is where us moderators, if we just come in, we really can't tell who's who from the back side. Other than Liberty, her tail feathers are just a little bit darker than Justice's. And with Justice as well, you can see his white feathers as he's standing there on the rails of the nest. His wing feathers, when they come over the white tail feathers, will make a V or a triangle, not really a triangle, but a V shape on the tail, and he will always do that. That is something distinctive to him. His feathers, his wing feathers, do not cross and stay crossed when he is relaxed or when he's getting ready to fly. They do not stay together, whereas Liberty's will. And hers are crooked. Hers will go off to the side a little bit. And so that is one way to also tell. And you can see right now on Justice, it's starting to split apart. You can see a little bit of white peeking through as he's standing there. And that's what I'm talking about as far as there's going to be a little, it's not a triangle, and I apologize. It's been too long since I've been to math class. I teach English, so that explains a lot. Anyways, but you can see where his wing feathers have now split apart, and you can see his tail feathers as he's standing there. Also, a little known fact, well, not a little known fact, but a fact, as he's standing there, he is protecting the nest while Liberty is fixing it and putting the straw and the sticks where she wants them. Now, there are times that these two do get into a little tiff, and that happens with all of them. Oh, Justice is going to do it for me. You see his right leg just kind of lift off that rail. That is what they do. They, in order to rest, in order to stay focused, and they sometimes kind of shut off half their brain. And so they take that foot and they put it into a rest mode. And so that is part of what they do, part of their habits, you might say. Um, there are tons and tons of resources on the internet about that. Also, if you go onto our chat at the at YouTube or on eagle.org, eaglecam.org, I apologize. You will also be able to see the moderators. They're in blue. I am one of them. Oh, something's called Liberty's Eye. So you can definitely ask as many questions as you want, and we are more than willing to help you answer any questions that you have. Yep, something caught her eye. Not sure what. It could have been a squirrel. It could have been a car. This is DC. It is very busy. It is a forest in the middle of a city. I was so shocked when I went and visited. It was such an amazing visit. I am very surprised that I did not get poison ivy. I am not a nature girl at any means or any way, and I just started tromping through this forest wilderness area just to see the eagles, and luckily I was with some great people who are from the area, and they're like, ETL, I think you need to watch where you're going because there is poison ivy. So a little funny story there. Justice is still protecting the nest. He's trying to figure out what Liberty is doing, keeping an eye out, because obviously she saw something and left. So he's making sure that the nest is protected. On camera too, you can see a greater view of what is going on. I cannot switch to camera 2 on my tablet as I record. I'm working on trying to get it set up with my computer. Unfortunately, right now, all I have is camera 1 that I can video from. So this is going to be kind of a short video because for me, it is Sunday, as I mentioned. So it is my day of going to my religious activities, and so I have a great day. If anything should happen, I'm going to do a quick fast forward and probably do an edit. Oh, wait. Justice is going back into the nest. Here comes Liberty. What does she get? Oh, she got a stick. Now, Justice, what is very interesting is Justice will make the nest bowl for Liberty. Now, they will both bring in straw, and they will both bring in sticks, and they will both bring in different things. However, Justice is the one who will make sure that it's deep enough, make sure that it's good enough for Liberty, which I think is very interesting. Not all male eagles will do that. Justice, there is one other male eagle that will do that, and that is Paul Berry from Berry College. He will also check and make sure that the nest bowl is right for Mawberry. Now, if you're not familiar with them, Mawberry has a broken leg. has for several years, but it doesn't affect her. Um, Other than just like us as humans, she seems to, when the weather gets cold, she seems to be in pain, um, just like we do with arthritis, or if we had a broken bone as a child and it acts up. That's the only time that she really shows any kind of weakness is when it's cold. Uh, but other than that, she is still able to do everything else. She she is limited on bringing in the sticks and some of that stuff, but Pa Berry is really great on making sure that she has everything that her and the babies need. So that's the only other eagle that I've seen that will actually make sure that the nest bowl is what it needs to be. And when I talk about the nest bowl, uh, I'm talking about where the hay is in the middle of the nest and where the eggs will be laid and where they'll stay until until the eaglets are old enough to move out of that area. So, well, it looks like Liberty's going to go to the rails. But as I said before, this is where they like to look out, perch, fly off of. There she goes. Justice is going to stay for a minute. So they're working on their nest and it's looking beautiful and it's looking great. Now, I did notice last night this new camera does have an awesome infrared. And so there is one stick that seems to be like a tree. Um, I'm not sure if it is part of the tree or if it is just a stick that came in and they haven't moved it. I'm not sure. But we do have one stick that is up that looks like a tree. So we'll have to watch that as we continue the season. So please go to the Earth Conservation Corp eaglecam.org to watch Liberty and Justice. You can also find them on the Earth Conservation Corp YouTube channel. That's usually where I go, though there is the website just in case you can't go to YouTube. I am a school teacher. There are school districts, I know I came from one, where YouTube is prohibited. So it's awesome that we are able to go to the Earth Conservation Corp's website and be able to see it there where it is not blocked. So if you are a teacher who has who is in a district where YouTube is blocked and chat is blocked, there is the Conservation Corp website that you can go to, and it will be there for you and your kiddos. Oh, she's flying around. Here she comes. And stick. That time she landed on Justice. Okay, that's not going to work for me. Yeah, there you go. No, that stick's got to move. As a camera person, that stick has to move, Liberty. Yep, keep moving it off. Keep moving it. Yeah, we got to see the babies. So you got to move it. Yeah, keep moving it. There you go. All right, good girl. Yeah, we they last year we were trying to go through the sticks because they had they obviously this is nature. They don't understand cameras and camera people. So anyways, that's my short little commentary for today. I hope you have a fabulous Sunday. Hopefully, I will get to show you more. They did not come in last night. They only came in the morning. So, yeah, keep moving that stick, Liberty. There you go. Oh, that's perfect. Leave it there. No, don't move it. Okay, we're good. Perfect. And as you can see, Justice is being the lookout while Liberty is moving the sticks. This is what they do. This is part of what they do. And one looks out while the other one works on the nest. If they feel safe and secure, they'll both work on the nest. But usually what happens is one works on the nest while the other one watches. And they've been doing this for a very, very long time. I want to say since 2004, if not a little bit longer than that, 2002. So they know what they're doing, and they know how this works. If you ever get a chance to see the nest, which you can see the nest, it looks like they have built a 9-foot tall nest, and ECC can definitely correct me if I'm wrong, because they've actually been to install the cameras. They've actually been, but this nest is, at least we're just seeing the top of it, ladies and gentlemen. We're just seeing the top. If we pan down, you can see how really huge this nest is, and it has to be at least 6 to 9 feet tall. Oh, Justice is showing us that little box of his feathers right there. That does not go away. Liberty does not do that with her wings. Now, she may this season, just to prove me wrong, but she does not do that with her wing tips over her tail. Justice is the only one that does that. So, all right. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this little commentary. When we do get sound on camera 1, I will probably stop doing commentaries, just so that you can enjoy the sounds of nature and the firefighters doing their thing back there. They're probably enjoying their families over this New Year, Christmas holiday, because in the background we usually see some kind of smoke coming out of that firehouse, because they're doing trainings and stuff. So they are probably off being with their families, and I wish them well, along with every other service person, police officer, bus depot, EMT, everyone who is in public service. I thank you, including military and everyone else. Have a happy Sunday. Justice is going to preen himself while Liberty works on that one branch that I want her to leave alone, because she had it perfectly placed. But if you notice, as Justice was preening, he has an inner eyelid. Both of them do. That's part of the rapture quality of birds. And that inner eyelid is also a protection against any dust. So if for some reason as he was preening or whatnot, if some dust or something flew into his eye, it would not damage the eye. All right, well, I'm sure we'll get into more details of all of that later on. Looks like Liberty's trying to get that last little bit of twig off that branch. She's got a really strong beak. I've seen her snap twigs with her beak before, just right in half. So those beaks are really strong, especially hers. And so she'll just leave that alone, just right there. Leave it there. All right. I really am signing off for today. Love y'all. Put any comments in the section below. This is a raw video, so I'm not going to edit other than to put some introductions and ending to it. And have a fabulous Sunday wherever you are.